ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Yes, continuation to the last class. Third step in cardiac cycle is joint to diastolic phase. So what is the joint to diastolic phase means? After completion of the ventricular systole, ventricles starts relaxation. During that, atrias also in relaxation. Means for about 0.4 seconds, both atrias as well as ventricles are in relaxation. That period is said to be as the joint to diastolic phase. Definitely after immediate completion of the ventricular contraction, ventricle starts relaxation. At the time, atrias also in relaxation. Means both atrias and ventricles, if they are in relaxation, then that phase is said to be as the joint to diastolic phase. So whenever the ventricles starts relaxation, pressure in ventricle is gradually starts to decrease. Whenever the both sides of the ventricles starts relaxation, pressure which is inside of ventricle is gradually decreases. Whenever that pressure is becomes lesser than systemic arch, that is 120 mmHg, this is said to be as the systemic arch. This is said to be as the pulmonary arch, where about 80 mmHg, 80 to 90 mmHg blood pressure is present in pulmonary arch. As that both sides of the ventricles starts to relax, pressure inside of this ventricle is gradually decreases. Whenever this pressure is starts to decrease, then both the sides of the arches, then blood may be tries to reversely flow at first. For example, due to the relaxation of the left side of the ventricle, if in the left side of the ventricle pressure is becomes less than 120 mmHg, definitely blood tries to reversely flow from the systemic arch into left ventricle. So to prevent that reverse flow of blood, this aortic arch which is present at the base of this opening is gets closes. Similarly, due to the relaxation of right ventricle, pressure which is present in the right ventricle, if it is decreases than 80 mmHg, definitely from the pulmonary arch blood is tries to reversely flow into right ventricle. To prevent that reverse flow of the blood from the pulmonary arch into right ventricle, this pulmonary valve which is present at the base of this opening is gets closes. Means during the ventricular relaxation, definitely pressure in both sides of the ventricles is becomes less than respective side of the arches. By that way, blood is tries to reversely flow into the respective side of the ventricle to prevent that reverse flow of blood. To prevent that reverse flow of blood, here pulmonary valve is gets closes, here aortic valve is gets closes. By that way, second heart sound is gets delivered. That is said to be as the dub sound. That is said to be as the dub sound due to the closing of tricuspid and bicuspid valve. Whatever the heart sound which is produces, that is said to be as the lub sound. That is the first heart sound. Due to the closing of this pulmonary and aortic valve, whatever the sound which is gets delivered, that is said to be as the dub sound. This is the second heart sound. This is the high louder. This is with the high pitch. This is with the shorter in duration. First heart sound is with less louder, with low pitch and longer. Second heart sound, that is said to be as the dub sound. That is the second heart sound. That is with the high louder. That is with the high pitch. That is with the shorter duration. So here very important in objective question. When there is the chance to produce the first heart sound, that is the lub sound, what is the phase during which that is gets delivered? And when this second heart sound, that is the dub sound, is gets delivered, during which phase means first heart sound, lub sound is produced mainly due to the closure of tricuspid and bicuspid valve during the ventricular contraction. Second heart sound, that is the dub sound, is gets delivered due to the closing of SL valves, semilunar valve, such as the pulmonary valve and aortic valve during the ventricular relaxation. Definitely this is very important in objective. So just before going to the details of ventricular relaxation, you have to know what is the first heart sound, name of sound, delivered during or produced during again produced due to closure of. Next to significance. Significance or nature. This is nothing but nature. So of that, first one is the lub sound. This is the S1 heart sound, during which phase that S1 or the lub sound is produced, means during ventricular systole. During the ventricular contraction, first heart sound, that is the lub sound, is gets produced. This is produced due to the closure of AV valves, atrioventricular valve, that is the tricuspid and bicuspid valve. Its nature is, it is less louder it is with low pitch, it is longer. Second hot sound is dub sound or S2 sound. It is produced due to the closing of SL valves. During which period means? During ventricular diastole, that is the ventricular relaxation. During the ventricular relaxation, whenever the pressure in both sides of the ventricles is decreases less than this respective side of the aortic arches, then only this SL valves are gets closes to stop this reverse flow of the blood from the aortic arches into respective side of ventricle. So, due to the closure of SL valves, semilunar valves such as the pulmonary valve and aortic valve, it is louder, it is with high pitch, again it is shorter. So definitely you have to remember this sounds which may be produced during the cardiac cycle. Definitely first hot sound is a lump sound, that is the S1 sound, that is produced during the ventricular systole due to the closing of AV valve. Its nature is less louder, low pitch with longer. What is the significance of lump sound means? That lump sound prevent reverse flow of blood from ventricles into atria. What is the significance of second hot sound means? Second hot sound is delivered during the prevention of reverse flow of the blood from the aortic arch and pulmonary arch into the ventricle. So definitely whenever the both sides of ventricles are in continuous relaxation, whenever the pressure in both sides of the ventricles gets decreases, definitely this SL valves are gets closes to prevent the reverse flow of the blood from the respective side of the arches into the ventricle. So as these ventricles are too far relaxes, whenever the ventricular pressure becomes less than atrial pressure, then that blood which is present in the atria forces to gets open the tricuspid and bicuspid valve. By that way, from the atria, right atria blood is reaches into right ventricle, from the left atria blood is reaches into left ventricle. Means definitely as that both sides of the ventricles are too far relaxes, definitely whenever the pressure in ventricles becomes less than pressure of both sides of atria, definitely from the right atria blood is forces to gets open the tricuspid valve. By that way tricuspid valve is open. By that way right atria pump the blood into the right ventricle. Similarly, whenever in left ventricle blood pressure becomes less than left atria, blood which is present in the left atria forces to open the bicuspid valve. By that way from the left atria blood is pumped into the left ventricle. Means during the joint to diastolic phase, means in this particular case atrias are not in contraction still now. Atrias are still now in is relaxation. In this particular case, this atrias are in relaxation while ventricles are in relax. Means both atrias and ventricles are in relaxation. Definitely, while that ventricles are continuously in relax, whenever the pressure in both sides of the ventricles becomes less than respective side of the atrias, then from the or atrias, blood which is present in the atria forces this AV valve to gets open. By that way 70% of the blood from the right atria is pumped into right ventricle, 70% of the blood is pumped from the left atria into left ventricle. Means what I am saying here, that during the joint to diastolic phase, on or before beginning of the atrial contraction, atrial systole, from each and every atria 70% of the blood is reaches into the respective side of ventricle. Means once again I want to repeat this is the confused point. Definitely as the both sides of the ventricles are in relaxation, whenever the pressure in both sides of the ventricles becomes less than respective side of atria, then immediately blood which is present in atria forces tricuspid and bicuspid valve to gets open. By that way, on or before beginning of atrial contraction, 70% of the blood is gets pumped into respective side of ventricle. In that way, in joint to diastolic phase, definitely both the atrias as well as ventricles are in relaxation. While the atrias are in relaxation, about 70% of the blood from the both sides of the atria is reaches into respective side of ventricle. This is the cardiac cycle. Here definitely on the cardiac cycle there are very few numericals. What are the numericals means? What are the numericals which may be commonly asked on this particular cardiac cycle concept means? Before going to that, at first you have to know cardiac output. Cardiac output, that is simply called as the COP. So what is the cardiac output means? Total volume of blood which is pumped out by each ventricle in 1 minute is said to be as the cardiac output. Definitely by the single ventricular contraction, how much amount of the blood is pumped out? 70 ml. Means in one heartbeat, definitely by the contraction of each and every side of ventricle, how much amount of the blood is pumped out means 70 ml. That is said to be as the stroke volume or the beat volume. But here cardiac output nothing but amount of the blood which is pumped out by single ventricular contraction is not cardiac output. So cardiac output nothing but amount of the blood which is pumped out by each and every ventricle in 1 minute, but not in 1 beat. Amount of the blood which is pumped out by 1 beat is stroke volume. Amount of the blood which is pumped out by each and every ventricle in 1 minute is said to be as the cardiac output. In 1 beat, 70 ml of blood is pumped out. At that rate, in 1 minute, how much amount of the blood is sent out from each and every ventricle is said to be as the cardiac output. So definitely cardiac output is nothing but amount of blood pumped out by each ventricle in 1 minute is said to be as the cardiac output. In one ventricular contraction, 70 ml of the blood is pumped out, that is a stroke volume. At that rate, how many beats are occurs in 1 minute? 72 beats are occurs in 1 minute. In 72 beats, totally how much amount of the blood is sent out by single ventricle is said to be as the cardiac output. Definitely cardiac output, that is the COP, equal to stroke volume into heartbeat rate. That is the heartbeat rate. So normally whenever the person is in resting, what is the stroke volume? 70 ml. What is the heartbeat rate? 72 times per minute. So definitely about 5040 ml, that equal to approximately 5 liters is the COP in normally resting person. Means in 1 minute, totally how much volume of the blood is sent out by single ventricle, means about 5 liters, that equal to 5040 ml, that is approximately 5 liters. 5 liters of the blood can be sent out by each and every ventricle in 1 minute totally. That is said to be as the cardiac output. So, but cardiac output is not constant. Cardiac output maybe gets changes depending upon the person's body condition. For example, whenever the person is in resting, definitely cardiac output is 5 liters. But whenever the person is with vigorous exercise, during that cardiac output may be raises to 21 liters. In the case of the athlete, cardiac output may be raises to 35 liters. Means cardiac output is not constant. That maybe gets changes depending upon the body condition. In the case of the during exercise, COP equal to 21 liters instead of 5 liters. Whenever the person is with vigorous exercise, during that cardiac output is raises to 21 liters, because during that heartbeat rate is increases. During the vigorous exercise, heartbeat rate is increases, but stroke volume is normal, that is 70 ml. Due to increased heartbeat, cardiac output is gets increases up to 21 liters. In athletes, COP equal to 35 liters. But in the athlete, stroke volume is gets increases. Almost heartbeat rate is maintained constant, but stroke volume is increases in the athlete. Due to increased stroke volume, this cardiac output is raises to 35 liters. So once again I want to repeat that. What is the cardiac output means? At first, before going that, at first you have to recall what is stroke volume. So during the ventricular contraction, how much amount of the blood is pumped out by each and every ventricle is said to be as the stroke volume, that is 70 ml. But if we wanted to calculate amount of the blood which is pumped out by each and every ventricle in 1 minute, then that is said to be as the COP or cardiac output. So that only COP equal to stroke volume into heartbeat rate. Stroke volume is 70 ml, heartbeat rate is 72 times in resting stage, that equal to approximately 5040 ml, that equal to 5 liters. So during the vigorous exercise, COP may be raises up to 21 liters. In the athlete, COP, that is the cardiac output, may be 35 liters. So here there is the important question. in NEET examination point of view, how the question may be asked in the NEET examination on this particular concept, or what is the question which is given in the last NEET exam. Last NEET exam means during joint to diastolic phase, during joint to diastolic phase, on or before beginning of atrial contraction, during joint to diastolic phase, on or before beginning of atrial contraction, how much volume of blood is present in each ventricle is the question. During the joint to diastolic phase, on or before beginning of atrial contraction or atrial systole. Atrial contraction nothing but atrial systole. Simply we can represent it as the atrial systole, that is the atrial contraction. How much volume of blood is present in each ventricle is the question. First option 90 ml, second option 99 ml, third option 50 ml, fourth option 70 ml. So answer is 99 ml. How it is possible means just assume. Definitely during the joint to diastolic phase means whenever the both sides of the atrias and ventricles are in relaxation on or before beginning of atrial systole, atrial contraction, how much amount of the blood is present in each and every ventricle means just before the beginning of ventricular relaxation, how much amount of the blood is present in each and every ventricle? 50 ml. Definitely at the end of the ventricular relaxation 120 ml of the blood is present in each and every ventricle. At the end of the ventricular contraction of the 120 ml, 70 ml is sent out. Then after how much volume of the blood is retains in each and every ventricle means 50 ml. Here also 50 ml. So definitely again at the end of the ventricular relaxation or at end of the ventricular diastole 120 ml of the blood have to be make up. So for that purpose totally from the right atria into right ventricle, how much amount of the blood have to be pumped totally? Definitely at end of the ventricular relaxation 120 ml of the blood have to be maintained constant. Means EDV, that is end diastolic volume, have to be maintained as the 120 ml, that is constant. So that only to make up, to raise it up to 120 from 50, how much amount of the blood have to be pumped from atria into ventricle? 70 ml of blood have to be pumped from the right atria into right ventricle. Similarly 70 ml of blood have to be pumped from the left atria into left ventricle finally. But here question is that during joint diastolic phase on or before beginning of atrial contraction. Means before atrial contraction, before beginning of atrial systole, how much amount of the blood is pumped into? 70%. So that only before beginning of the atrial contraction, during the joint diastolic phase, how much percent of the blood is pumped into the ventricle? 70%. Remaining 30% of the blood is pumped into the ventricle by the atrial contraction. So that only 70 ml totally before the atrial contraction, after atrial contraction, totally 70 ml of the blood have to be pumped from atria into ventricle. But before the atrial contraction means of the 70 ml, 70% of the blood is only reaches into ventricle. Of this 70 ml, 70% of the blood is reaches into the respective side of the ventricle on or before beginning of atrial contraction. Then what is the volume of 70% of 70 ml? 70 into 70 by 100 into 70. That equal to 49 ml. 49 ml of the blood from each and every atria is pumped into the ventricle on or before beginning of atrial systole. So that only already 50 ml is present in each and every ventricle. On or before beginning of atrial systole, 49 ml is reaches. So that only totally how much volume of the blood is retains in each and every ventricle on or before beginning of the atrial contraction means 99. 99 ml of the blood is present in each and every ventricle on or before beginning of atrial systole. So definitely after reaching 49 ml of the blood into the ventricle, then atrial begins to contract. By the atrial contraction, 30% of the blood is later pumped. 30% means 21 ml. Of the 70 ml, 30% means 21 ml. Remaining 21 ml of the blood is pumped into the respective side of the ventricle by atrial contraction. But our question is that before beginning of atrial systole, how much volume of the blood is present in each and every ventricle means that is 99 ml. 99 ml of the blood is present in each and every ventricle before the beginning of the atrial systole. So after reaching the 49 ml into the respective side of the ventricle, then both sides of the atria begins to contract to pump the remaining 30% of the blood out of 70 ml, that equal to 21 ml into the respective side of the ventricle to totally make up it as the 120 ml. So that answer is 99 ml. Similarly, another question which is given in NEET examination, the heartbeat rate of person is, the cardiac output is cardiac output of a person, cardiac output of a person is 5 liters. Again EDV is 100 ml. ESV is 50 ml. Then find out heartbeat rate. Heartbeat rate of that person. This question was given in 2019 NEET examination. As it is, question is given in the 2019 examination. The cardiac output of a person is 5 liters. End diastolic volume of that person is 100 ml. End systolic volume of that person is 50 ml. Then find out the heartbeat rate of the person is the question. So definitely in this case, at first we have to calculate stroke volume. Before going to the find out of the heartbeat rate, we have to find out stroke volume. Stroke volume or beat volume is equal to EDV minus ESV. End diastolic volume minus end systolic volume. What is the end diastolic volume which is given? 100 ml. What is the ESV? 50 ml. So totally that equal to 50 ml. That is the stroke volume is 50 ml. So here stroke volume is 50 ml. Cardiac output is 5 liters. So equation is COP equal to stroke volume into heartbeat rate So COP is 5 liters. 5 liters nothing but 5000 ml. That equal to 50 ml. Stroke volume is 50 ml into heartbeat rate. So then heartbeat rate equal to 5000 ml by 50 ml, that equal to 100. So 100 times per minute is the heartbeat rate of the person. In that way, so if the cardiac output of a person is 5 liters, end diastolic volume at the end of the ventricular relaxation, if 100 ml of the blood is there, and at end of the ventricular contraction 50 ml of blood if it is there, then that is the ESV equal to 50 ml. Then how much amount of the blood is sent out? 50 ml. That is nothing but 50 ml. So that COP equal to stroke volume into heartbeat, that equal to COP 5 liters nothing but 5000 ml. 5 liters nothing but 5000 ml equal to stroke volume is 50 ml into heartbeat rate. So heartbeat rate equal to 5000 by 50, that equal to 100 times per minute. These are the cardiac output related problems. Next continuation is the double circulation. Next continuation topic is the double circulation. What is the double circulation means? Double circulation. What is the double circulation means? In a complete circuit, blood is passes through the heart twice completely. In a complete circuit, blood is passes through the heart twice, then that kind of the circulation is said to be as the double circulation. Means definitely through the right side of the heart chamber, deoxygenated blood is separately circulated. Through the left side of the heart chambers, oxygenated blood is separately circulated. If this oxygenated, deoxygenated bloods are circulated separately, then that is said to be as the double circulation. Again, in the double circulation, there are two pathways. One is the pulmonary circulation. This is also called as lesser circulation. One is the pulmonary circulation, that is the lesser circulation. Second one is the systemic circulation. This is also called as greater circulation. Second